ready to learn with us on Bass University Live. Bass University Live starts now. Welcome to Bass University Live. Good morning, Riz. Good evening. Welcome to Bass U. How about it, man? Everything's live. We're getting tons of feedback on our app release. People are watching on Roku. I love it. That's my favorite way to watch. Amazon Fire Stick. We're seeing everybody come through the app on your iPhone and Android devices, and everybody's loving the new apps, Rich.
Yes, it's great to see. It's made the user experience way better, and it's safe to say our customers appreciate the upgrades and the updates that we've made. So it's awesome. It's awesome. It is off the ground. We teased it for like a year and a half, I feel like, but it's launched. Bash U 2.0, the new experience. It's all there, and the app it's money. It's really good.
I like that. Bass University 2.0.
Great work to some people and the Bash U team that are behind the scenes a little more than they are sitting on this stream with us. But Justin, Jason, Jocelyn, Jeff, everybody did a great job. And the new platform is up and off the ground and ready for everyone to experience.
Yes, they sure are. So get out there, check it out. It's a great time. We're coming up on the holiday season here. Amazing gift. Give the gift to your angler in your life, or give it to yourself.
Yes.
The confidence, the ability to get out there and catch fish. Excited to be talking about that. We're going to have Keith Carson on with us today. Stand out on the Bass Pro Tour. Longtime friend of us and Bass University, and excited to be talking to him about that thing: consistency, confidence, how to catch fish, Rich, when you really need to,
and how to catch a lot of fish.
Mm-hmm.
How to catch a lot of fish. That's something that we're going to be talking about today with Keith. Is how to find those big groups and just steady reel them in, because in the Bass Pro Tour, in their format, Pete, if you are not reeling them in consistently, you're going to get walked by. And it's just the nature of the beast. And hey, look, let's face it. It's fun to go out in a tournament and pull on 6 fish throughout the day and come in with 26 pounds. But that's a long day with a lot of stuff going on. That's not everybody's MO. Some people like to just go catch them. So I'm excited to pick Keith's brain a little bit about how.
Well, shout out to Logan Parks and the insane tournament that happened. And Jake, we participated at the high school. I was cheering. I was going nuts because we had the score tracker going on the Fishing Chaos app. And when they were catching them and jumping back up into the leaderboard, and we were going nuts. And then when they stalled, and this is what I'm so interested to talk to Keith about, like, man, when you stall and you lose the bite and they start, you hear it, beep, beep, you get just, they're catching, they're gaining on, they're passing you now. Now you're behind. Oh my God.
The pressure to shut the up. Maybe don't do that. Don't use the choice language, but
you want to smash it with your boot, man. Just shut up. Stop talking to me. But everybody's different. Everybody handles that differently and responds differently. And we'll dive into that. And we've got a lot of great fishing coming up, and some things that are happening. But I want to invite you guys to go check out the optics of Redfin sunglasses. We are so excited to be working with them this season, and already during the filming of the commercial, Riz, the Redfins helped me almost catch my biggest fish of the year live on camera.
Almost.
I think
horseshoes and grenades. That day was neither.
Oh man, it was amazing. I could see the clear water. It was Justin was with us, and there was a tree. The redfins cut through the glare like you wouldn't believe. I made another cast on the tree at the prodding of Justin, who was in there producing with us as you were capturing the footage. And oh my God, what a fish! What a fish! Had him to the boat, and then I screwed it up somehow. So I apologize for that. But what an awesome deal!
Yeah.
But love the glasses, the comfort. You guys are gonna love the optics, of course.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But the comfort, the all day comfort, lack of fatigue is amazing. And Thump Gel, got to give a shout out to Thump Gel. Another amazing gift for the holidays. You got to have it. The glow, daytime shine, nighttime glow. It is a very unique triggering mechanism that you can apply to your baits, and it stays on better than any other scent. So you want to go check out the Thump Gel. And thanks to all of our other sponsors. Great time to thank everybody that works with us, including Humminbird, Minn Kota. We love those guys. And Carson Fishing Rods, making the best American-made rods that there are. And Carson's just having a buy one, get one going on right now, too. So go check all that stuff out. So
maybe it'll still be going on. I hope so.
Yeah, maybe it will still be going on.
Yeah.
Tell them I said it was okay. Just say Gluzak said I can buy one, get one.
Yep.
They'll make a special deal for you. But without any further ado, let's bring him in. The man, our buddy, calling from the beautiful tropic weather down south. Like it's wearing a t-shirt. Look at there's still leaves on the trees down there, Riz. It's not fair, Keith.
Yeah, man, it's wild. I was in Louisiana last week for the team series, and they've got like yellow leaves and all different color foliage, and we're still deep green here. So yeah, it's something else.
Yeah, that's completely unfair. And we're just getting into it. Honestly, we're just starting to get into the throes of winter. But fishing up here in the winter, I mean, if you can bear it up, dude, I mean, it's fun. You can catch the big ones this time of year up here.
Oh yeah. I mean, the fishing up north is so good. It's great down here in the wintertime. The summertime it gets lousy, but every time the tournament swing goes up north, that's by far my favorite time of the year to get up there.
That's funny because by far the favorite time of the year for me when I was on tour was January, because I would clear the snow off the boat and the truck. And by the end of the day, I was in a t-shirt down in South Florida somewhere. So I think you're living the life, Keith. You're just following the sun, fishing wherever the sun shines,
Yeah, that's true. I'm following good weather anyways.
Yeah.
Yes. Try to follow good weather. That's true. Unsuccessful following when you're bass tournament fishing. The bad weather kind of runs with you.
Isn't that true? I just saw. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, I was gonna say, we start January in northern Alabama on Bass Pro Tour. There's no telling what's gonna happen for that one.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's it's gonna be cold, right? We know that. And
might be snowing, might be sleeting, who knows? Yeah.
60 degrees.
Yeah, that'd be fine too.
Yeah. Well, it's we're excited to talk to you because this is we've done a lot of shows where we're chasing big fish, and we're concentrating on one big one or your big five. But man, it's not for everybody. Like I can't take my son out fishing for one bite every day. We got to get into the action, man. And I think most anglers are like that, and that is what's going on the Bass Pro Tour. That's how you guys compete, and you're doing an amazing job over there at catching a lot of fish. That sounds like a great job, Keith.
Yeah, man. it's a lot of fun. It's also it's a ton of fun, and it's also nerve-wracking because if you have a down period or half an hour or something where you're running or not getting bites, man, that score tracker is racking up. These guys catch them, and you have to stay on top of it. You got to make fast decisions. When they're biting, you better capitalize on it. If you're losing a bunch, it's over before you know it. So it's you're never safe in the Bass Pro Tour format, that's for sure.
Rich and I were just talking about it on the open. Do you turn it off? Do you crush that machine? Do you have to listen? How do you handle that pressure?
It's something like, I'm 2 years in on the Bass Pro Tour now. Next year will be my 3rd year. And so like a lot of it is learning, all this is new. I've never had instant updates before in a tournament. So a lot of it's navigating. And so like what I do is like, if I'm struggling, a lot of times I'll tell my marshal, I'll say, hey, I don't need that many updates now. And we're also, so we have 3 periods, and we have 2 15-minute breaks in between those periods. So during the break or any time of the day, I could look at the iPad that our marshal has and go over everything myself. So if I'm struggling, a lot of times it's just better to say, hey, no updates. Let me see if I can just connect with the fish and get dialed. But then if I am catching them, I want to know where I'm at. How far how far ahead of 20th place cut am I? How far am I in top 10 or wherever I'm at,
Right.
And so then I want updates. Like I want to know, what do I need to do? Do I need to catch them faster? This and that. And so like it's always changing, it's never the same, and your decisions are always, you're always making different decisions on score tracker, on where you're going, baits, there's so much into it, way more in depth, I would say, than the 5-fish format.
Heck so yeah.
It's a different world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I assumed that you could probably slow your marshal down if they're just lighting you up with updates, but I didn't realize that, you could essentially say, hey, I don't want any updates for the remainder of the period. And then you can actually go through and look at all that data. And I mean, hey, that has to affect your strategy in some capacities. Like, do you ever see like, oh man, Keith Pochet just lit him up in that period, or this guy just lit him up in that period? You say, well, he's probably not out in the middle of the lake pinging a minnow. Like, does it affect you from that standpoint at all?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's something I really pay attention to, and like just learning. So one of the main things like is learning the field. What are these guys' strengths? How do they typically like to fish? And you've got guys that can do it all. And then you've got guys that are strictly shallow, like Pochet or something. You've got guys that are strictly mostly scopers, Drew Gill and some of those guys. So if they're lighting up the field, say Drew Gill's really catching them, I can have a strong feeling that he probably is using sonar that period, and he's probably out scoping them somewhere. And then and vice versa. If Pochet's lighting them up, then I'm like, okay, Pochet's he's got something dialed, something shallow, and he's just really hitting them, and maybe I can go hit my shallow fish that I found in practice or something, and it's just you're always watching that score tracker, always watching who's catching what and how fast they're catching them and stuff. And I mean, it's it's something else, man. It's if you feel like you're having an anxiety attack all day long during those tournaments. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can relate it to is like when you're fishing in like, a community hole type of area, and everybody's doing kind of relatively the same stuff, but this one guy is next to you, and he's just on a scrape, just smashing. I mean, it'll drive a man absolutely wild. It will wreck you if you let it. But I mean, at your level, you can't let that wreck you. But talk a little bit about the changes you've had to make in your personal fishing, being the every fish catch formats, and how is Keith Carson finding these bigger groups of fish that you feel like you can catch more and more numbers out of?
So, I mean, I've been a 5-fish guy my whole life, and and that is totally different than trying to catch a lot of fish. And through when I fished 5-fish tournaments, it was like everything that if I was catching a lot of fish, I usually wasn't catching the right size for 5-fish. And so I'm just totally changing to where I'm not going after large fish. I'm going after massive groups of fish. And like part of how I'm doing that is fishing a lot of obvious main structure type stuff. Fishing like, major points, hitting the obvious things where groups of fish can set up. If I'm on small areas where, I might get a big bite, I'm probably not going to catch a ton of fish unless I'm on the Potomac. That place is wild. But, so I'm just trying to stay in like big areas, obvious things, entryways, going in and out of bays and things like that. Finding good grass, or if I'm on a lake with grass, like healthy areas. You're looking for healthy water, healthy areas, a lot of bait, and just looking for signs of life, and that could be birds on the bank, that could be current water flowing. There's really so much that goes into it, depending on the body of water that we're on.
So that's interesting. You're targeting. You got to target these bigger areas that have the potential to harbor a population of fish, and that's your practice strategy. Well, what does that really look like? Do you break the lake down into like the lower midsection or upper, or do you target major creeks? Like, what does a practice session look like? I don't really even know how many days you get. Like, what does that look like?
So we get 2 days of official practice, so it's not very much. And if you have bad, it's nothing. Yeah, and if you have bad weather or something, forget it. You're down to a day. Wow. So it's you really it's important to almost have a strong idea of what the fish are doing before you get there. And so like, you need to know, is it pre-spawn? Is it spawn? Is it post-spawn? Is it later? Is it shad spawn? In the towards late spring, summer type stuff. And having an idea of like where we're at, and then understanding, okay, the body of water that I'm going to, let's say it's pre-spawn, then I'm going to be looking for areas that these fish are going to be interested in moving up to spawn. So maybe that's a bay, some sort of a shallow pocket or something. And I'm going to try to find the entry, the place that these fish are going to stage up before they spawn. And that's where you're going to find big groups of fish, so like, you would be, going to the mouths of shallow bays. And if it's later in pre-spawn, like let's say it's like a day or two before they spawn, like getting close, you can actually catch them up on the flats. And man, that can look like so many things. It depends if there's grass there, maybe you're chatterbaiting, bladed jig type stuff. You could be throwing rattle trap, and if there's not grass, they might be setting up on pieces of wood or something, and you need to have all those pieces of wood marked out in practice, know the cast you're going to make, pull up, make a cast, catch one, go to the next piece of wood. It's very fast fishing most of the time on the Bass Pro Tour. And you just, I can't I can't tell you like how dialed you have to be, like on execution. And one of the mistakes I made the first year I fished Bass Pro Tour was, when I fish a 5-fish tournament, I may know where I may get a few big bites and fish those areas, and then I can just kind of mosey around. In the 5-fish format, I have no problem fishing new water whatsoever. I can go run stuff. I have the freedom. Time is on your side most of the time because you only need 5. But with Bass Pro Tour, I tried doing that the first year, and I would just have so much downtime fishing new water and stuff. And I realized, man, I cannot do that. Like, I have to know where I'm going, know that there's fish there, have a strong feeling anyways, and pull up and start fishing, and catching. And you can go for 30 minutes or something without getting a bite if you run into groups later. But if you start going a whole period, and only catch nothing or one or something, I mean, you get so far behind that it it becomes very difficult to catch up, to get back in that top 20, top 10 type place you need to be, you know, to advance to the next rounds.
So you mentioned that you're it sounds like you're spending a lot of time marking stuff and identifying these pieces of habitat. Or is this stuff you're doing in advance to your tournaments, like through Google Earth study, or are you spending a lot of time at the steering wheel in your practice period?
So I'm spending a ton of time on Google Earth, like tremendous amount of time. And I try to do at least 10 hours before each tournament, but if I can do 20, I notice that if I'm hitting 20 hours on Google Earth, I'm doing better in those tournaments. And a lot of it's just like memorization, you know? And so like a lot of times on Google Earth, I'm looking at things and I may not know exactly what I'm looking for, but I just try to memorize things like, you know, maybe a section of lake has a lot of docks, and maybe, you know, and then maybe there's like nice creeks with channel swings, and maybe there's like grass over here and a lot of wood on this part of the lake. And I'm trying to just go through and memorize obvious structure that looks like it can hold fish. Cause then when I get out there and I start practicing, maybe I fish some docks, I don't get any bites. You know, maybe I hit some grass and I get a couple bites, and then I hit the wood and they're all on the wood. Well, then I'm like, okay, I remember looking at all this stuff. There's, you know, there's wood in this creek. There was a lot of wood over here and there, you know, and I can kind of run it in practice, because in practice, it can be difficult to pull Google Earth up and go through and zoom way in and search, you know, you're, you know, spending a lot of time doing that. And so I spent a tremendous amount of time on Google Earth, a good amount of time looking at contour lines and you know, breaks and stuff, and more offshore things for as far as scoping and utilizing that period efficiently. And you know, and then when I get to the body of water, you know, I'm running what I think's best, and you know, how I can get a lot of bites.
Is forward facing, are you wide open at practice? Is that an important part of you know, your practicing, just trying to see what's there?
Yeah, 100%. So forward facing, we're allowed to use all of practice. We can use 360, we can use forward, you know, perspective mode, and scout mode, all that stuff. And we can use that sunrise to sunset. Now in the tournament, we can only use that for one period. We get to select the period. It could be first, second, third, whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge player, because like I've seen this year, you know, I've seen guys that are really good scopers where they catch all the fish they need in one period, and they can zero the second period, zero the third period, and they easily slide into top 20. And so I mean, it's such a strong tool that you know, you have to utilize it. Like you just have to. It's so efficient. So I've really been working hard on that and getting better on it. I've been using it a lot, and it's helped me make top 20s, you know, for sure. At Chickamauga, at this year at Murray, I caught a lot using it, and you know, just really spending a lot of time in the off season and stuff, you know, dialing that in, and figuring out like how to lead fish, what direction are they going, where do I need to cast, timing the rate of fall, so it meets the fish, you know. So there's a huge thing that goes into that, and that's been really interesting to see on the Bass Pro Tour.
Yeah. Well, how did, you know, you're spending time with it? Like, do you have certain bodies of water that around your house or so that you can practice on? Like, how did you do? How are you developing your skill set there?
Yeah, so around the house, not really. You know, Florida, unfortunately, is one of the worst places for now. Now you can definitely use it here, and a lot of tournaments are one where in Florida where guys are targeting individual large fish. You know, these are a lot of 5-fish formats, like glide bait type stuff. We see that like on Okeechobee a week ago or so, or you know, however long ago that was, and you know, we'll see that type of stuff, and but you know, it's difficult because Bass Pro Tour, you know, I need to be targeting groups of fish, schools of fish, and we don't often have that as much in Florida. We do, they're on shell bars and things like that. They're on little edges of grass, and shell bars meeting edge of grass where you can catch a ton of fish. But often Our fish here are stuck to the bottom. They're a little more hard to see, which is actually really good practice for me. You know, and so we don't get a lot of those high flyers in the water column chasing bait as often as you might see in like a Texas lake or, you know, somewhere up north, or basically anywhere up north. And so I am practicing as much as I can here, but when I'm out of Florida, I'm using it as much as I possibly can. You know, anything in that standing timber and stuff, and you know, getting out there, finding the bait, and just, you know, chasing fish down and seeing how it works.
How is that strategy? Like, what do you what's your strategy with it during the tournament? You know, like, are you I guess practice dictates everything. But I mean, you come from you and John Cox are buddies, and there's not a lot of forward facing action going on in that boat. You know, or you know, what are you doing with your periods? Like, I guess it depends on what your practice looks like.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm every practice I'm always trying to find you know, fish that I can use forward facing sonar for, always. Like, and I'm spending a good amount of practice looking for that, because if you find it, you know, like I said, you know, if you find it, it's just, you just slide on into the top 20, you know, relatively easy, it seems like. But if it's not working, I shut it off. You know, there was tournaments, some of my best tournaments this year on the Potomac River, I never turned it on in practice, never turned it on in the tournament. I know I don't need it there. And I got top 10. And then Saginaw Bay, same thing. Really didn't turn it on, you know, and didn't use it at all in the tournament, and got top 10 there also. So obviously it's safe to say my strength is not using it still. I'm still with John Cox there, but I did win a tournament using it on St. Clair last year, you know, so I'm really learning it. I know, you know, I know I'm not the best at it, but that's why I'm working so hard on getting better at it. And so, you know, I mean, I'm using it a lot in practice, trying to find those groups of fish, trying to find the schools and places I can really, you know, rack up numbers and light up the score tracker for sure.
Yep, for sure. Well, talk to me about the you know, the baits. Like, you know, we're big fish, you know, we're trying to get big five. It's different. You know, are you downsizing? Are you you know, are you doing a lot of work with stuff like Ned rigs or drop shots to, you know, to get these numbers up?
100%, man. I mean, everything, I've switched everything to finesse tactics, as far as, you know, the sonar goes, and even not, you know, it's all finesse. And this year, I room with Anthony Gagliardi on the Bass Pro Tour, and so this year he took me out for a day, and he's like, "Let me show you how to drop shot." And I was like, "Man, you know, he's one of the best guys to learn from." And man, we went out on a local lake near his house in South Carolina, and we just wrecked them. And he just like really showed me how to do it and stuff. And I started doing that, and man, I started doing it even without sonar, and I got a top 10 at James River on drop shot, so it's pretty wild. But you know, it's everything's finessey when you're you know, pairing it with sonar, whether it's pinging a minnow. I throw a lot of drop shots. I put a lot of real small stuff, small worms. I even drop shot a little tiny crawl. You know, I throw a little Berkeley Super Troopers and stank bugs and stuff, and those work really well. And I like a lot of Neds. I'm doing that. I prefer the Ned if the water is a little bit cleaner. It seems to work better. And you know, Nico rigging for sure. I Nico rig crawls a lot, Nico rig worms, you know, little finesse worms. And I mean, it just helps so much with getting bites by using those finesse tactics, wacky rigging a ton under docks and things like that. Man, it just, you know, the amount of bites go up over something like a glide bait or a bladed jig or swim jigs or things like that. I mean, just, you know, man, it really helps with presentation too, because you've got the sonar to see the fish, and then when you throw a finesse bait in there and you can present it naturally, I mean, man, you're getting so many bites, and also a good hookup ratio too, right? You know, when you're throwing drop shots and finesse things like that, you really tend to hook them really well.
Yeah, well, and that's huge, right? You got to keep that weight stacking up. The I noticed like we're seeing a trend towards like heavy leaders on the finesse stuff, so that guys are going away from that 6 pound a lot. Are you is that a Bass Pro thing? I know the heavy 5 guys are trying to get that heavy leader on there because they need to get that fish in the boat, the bigger one, So, but man, I'm thinking to myself, a lighter leader might get you 3 or 4 more fish a day. What are you doing with it?
I'm going up too.
Oh, wow.
I used to use lighter leader and stuff. And when I caught him at St. Clair last year, John Cox was in that tournament, and he's using real light line and everything to get bites. And I started going up, and in practice I was using a 12-pound leader. In the tournament I started using 12 and 15, and I didn't notice a difference. Now I was pinging a minnow, and I was swimming that thing so fast that I don't think it mattered. I think I could have thrown straight braid and still caught all of them. Like they were racing up in just all smallmouth, smoking it and stuff. And I don't know if it matters as much. I'm not seeing a huge difference. I use a lot of 12-pound leader and stuff. And it just helps, like, you're setting the hook harder, really getting a good hook in the fish, and you're also just cranking them in. And I'm boat flipping a lot of, 3-4 pounders, got 12-pound line. I'm just boat flipping them and stuff.
That's nice.
And it just helps because with all that, and I notice when I use light line, maybe I do get some more bites, but then I lose some too. I'll break off. I can't, they'll pull me into the structure where with like 12 or something, I can really horse them out, get them out in open water and stuff. So I seem to be catching more fish, or landing more fish, I should say, with the stronger leader.
Well, as I think about it, I'm talking to you about it. You know what else? It's efficient. Like, you can bully a 1 or 2 pound fish and get him in quick and get right back at it with a heavier leader.
Right. 100%. And that's such a big deal. Like, if you're on a school of fish and you catch one, you want to get right back in there, keep them fired up, keep them going, and stuff. So, that's probably part of it too. I think there's just a lot of advantages to having a heavier leader for this format, and keeping those fish fired up and stuff. And man, you definitely don't want to lose one. If you lose one, oh man, it seems to really jack the school up sometimes, but yeah, it's a big player for me for sure.
Well, that's cool. That's fun. I love keeping them fired up. You're fishing. It's fun. It's sometimes easier to keep them fired up when you got another guy fishing.
Right.
But you're by yourself. Like, anything cool going on down there? Have you found any really innovative ways to keep that school fired up, keep it going?
Well, something I do is if I got a bait that the fish are really eating, whether it's a minnow or Nico or wacky or something, I'll rig up a bunch of rods with the same bait. And so if I catch one and they destroy the bait, I can just grab another rod and fire in there, keep them going, so that's like a big player, having a bunch of the same baits on different rods. And, and then if they don't destroy the bait, I can just, organize it real quickly and, and fire back out there and, and keep catching them. But, starting a lot of times, like with 5 fish, you would start with big baits and a lot of times when you're in a school of fish, you can catch the most dominant fish, which is often the largest fish in the school. And you throw those big baits and you call the big ones up. And I'm learning with Bass Pro Tour, it's the opposite. When you catch that dominant fish, a lot of times he's the leader of the pack, and it will shut the school off because they lost their leader. And so they're like, where'd he go? What do we do now? And stuff. So it's the complete opposite. If I'm scoping and I see a group of fish and I see one that's huge, I'm trying not to catch him, try to catch him last. And the amount of fish you're going to catch goes way up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fat, dude. I never heard anybody say it like that before. It's man, you call it that's so fascinating. Makes so much sense. We always tried, like, you want to get in there because the dominant one's going to bite first. So you want to get that big one, and man, oh man, you could triple your catch. You could triple your numbers by saving that fish.
Yeah, 100%, man. It makes a huge difference. And it's difficult to do, like if fish are sitting still, say they're on brush piles or on like a point or something, it's hard, but when they're chasing bait, it's way easier. You can see, if them big ones are out front or wherever they're at, and they're higher in the water column, it's easier to identify the fish and the size of them and stuff. So it's a lot easier to do, like cast to the back of the pack, start picking them off from the back. And then also, like you're not dragging the whole school back to you as easily. Like if you catch the one up front and you reel them in, you'll notice the whole school, smallmouth or whatever, comes to the boat, and then they have to reset. And if you pick them off from the back, you might just get a few that come to the boat, and the rest of the pack keeps moving. And so it just helps, a lot with catch rate, numbers. Yeah, big time.
And that's everything in your world. Wow, what a unique way to go about it. Well, all right. Well, how do you handle this? It's funny. I was forget who I was talking to. Drew. I guess I was talking to Drew Gill about it. Like, and he was talking about, like, just like you said, he tries to find the scope fish and catch. That's his period. But the period without scope, like, what do? Do you like totally switch gears? Do you try to catch those fish that you can't see? What do you do when you got to turn it off?
So, I mean, for me, the only way I can catch scope fish that I can't see is if they're sitting on structure. So, like, say I find them in practice and they're like loaded up on a point or a brush pile or something. It's got to be something that I can relate to. It's got to be structure. It's got to be a place that they're sitting. They can roam in an area, like say it's a flat that's like 5 feet deep or something. I can go out there and I can trap or something and catch fish without scope. But if they're roaming at all, there is no way I can ever catch those fish without seeing them on sonar. No way. And so they got to be sitting. It can be anything. They could be sitting any depth. Anywhere, and then I can catch them. But if I don't find that in practice, then forget it. I'm going to do my thing shallow.
Yeah, that makes such good sense, man. You could see that score tracker get away from you as you meander out in the middle of the lake trying to find a fish that's eating on a school of bait or something. I mean, we've tried to do that for a million years before forward facing. We knew they were out there, but we also knew that they were virtually uncatchable. So
right. Yeah, because you don't know, who knows what direction they're swimming, where they're going. They're constantly changing directions, and it's almost impossible without the sonar.
Yeah, so you got to smartly, you go old school on structure, and you got to go back to using techniques like triangulation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do that still. I'm like lining up with a tree in the distance, and
heck yeah,
oh for sure, 100%.
The high schoolers and the college kids, man, they don't know how to do that, Keith.
No, I mean, that's our thing, I mean, I learned it when I was a kid, and you still mark waypoints and stuff, but I'm like, okay, I get the boat on this waypoint and I throw, towards that tree or that house or whatever, and I know I'm going to hit my structure, and I mean, you gotta know. Sometimes I'll mark my waypoints like that. If it's a structure, I'll drop the waypoint where I want the boat to sit, and I'll actually mark the structure, cast towards White House, cast towards this. And so when I pull up, I know exactly where to cast, and I know I'll hit whatever it is that I want to fish. Yeah.
Yep.
Love that. Keith, you seem to be a lot more detail oriented than John. Is that a correct assumption?
I think so. When I fish with John, he's just like, let's go over here, let's go over there and do this. And there, man, there's a whole thing to that having that carefree attitude where it really helps catch fish, 100%. I mean, that's like really, that is the attitude to have, when you're fishing for 5 a lot.
Yeah.
And man, it's just, we're different like that, where I'm a lot more organized, and I know where things are at and stuff, and he's just like doesn't know where baits are. He's like, I think I got some of those somewhere down. You have to dig through the boat to find them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
That's awesome. I tell you, that does remove a lot of pressure when your mind works like that, though, because this tournament game is pressure. It's a pressure cooker, you know.
Oh man, it's wild. It's the pressure. I thought there was pressure, fishing the 5-fish stuff, and that wasn't pressure. This every fish counts. This is pressure. Yeah, you're never safe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of this. I wanted to ask it when we were talking about trying to make the score tracker and stuff. Like when you're out of it, what's the strategy then? Like, dude, there's no way I can catch up. It's beyond my reach. You're still, I guess the benefit is to score more points, right?
Right.
So that's why you're still in the fight. You're gonna keep battling, for the AOY stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So like I had a couple tournaments this year. I was kind of out of it, just fell back too far. And I mean, for me, it's a couple things. Like, so we also have something called heavy hitters tournament where they take your largest fish from each tournament. They add it up over 7 tournaments, and the top 30 guys go to this heavy hitters, no entry fee, typically on lakes full of giants, like a tournament you want to be in. And so I'll see where I'm at in that. Like, should I just go try to catch a big one, and stuff. But the other side of it is every single point matters. Our field on Bass Pro Tour, it's small. This year we had 66 guys. Next year in 26, we're going to have 51 guys. And so part of what that means is like, it's very hard to move around. When you have a field of 200 guys, you can move around a ton and make up ground, with good finishes. And with the smaller field, it's a lot more difficult. And every point matters. Like I've never fished a tour where each point mattered as much as it does on Bass Pro Tour. And so if you're down and you're out and you're in, say, 50th or something, getting to, you might try to make a goal that day. Like, let me just get to 40th. Let me get to 42nd or something. Cause that 8 to 10 points from 50th to 40th, that's a massive difference. Like, if you go to the end of the year and I look at the standings and I count 10 points, it can be like 5 places. It can be a lot. So I mean, I'm still on. If I'm bombing, I'm still just trying to find some juice to finish my day off with, to catch a few more fish and to move up a few places, and then forget about that one and start focusing on the next tournament.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. The one of the other trends that I'm seeing, and I wonder how that's affecting you, and because a lot of it's the Japanese trend. Well, it's been on us, but they're they're making all kinds of JDM, all kinds of uber realistic stuff, and they're threading. Everything's a spider or a dice, or they're doing those types of things. But the ultra, like Berkeley has the drip minnow, which I think of something like that. That's like ultra realistic. Has that made its way into your game or to the Bass Pro Tour? Or guys finding these unique little micro weird stuff that's catching a lot of fish?
Oh my gosh, it has made its way, and it's made its way on Bass Pro Tour, and it's starting to make its way in my life. Just last night, I'm on the computer till midnight, and the wife's like, "Hey, when are you coming to bed?" And I'm like, I'm on this Japanese website. I don't know what it says. And so I'm copying and pasting and then uploading it into another page to read the description of these baits and stuff. And she comes in and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's taken me forever. I've been here for 2 hours. This is terrible." And she's like, no. She's like, "You go to Google, you do this, and it'll translate everything on the website." I said, "Are you serious?" Yeah. So she showed me how to do this. So I'm on all these Japanese sites, like picking out baits and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know these baits. I don't know how to throw them. I'm going on YouTube looking up how to rig them. I'm a complete beginner when it comes to this, but I'm seeing it. As far as I know, Banks Shaw only throws Japanese baits. I don't know if that's true, but from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's like a lot of that fuzzy dice type stuff. and he is just, he walked away with an AOY on the invitationals this year. I fished against him. I think he top 10 every tournament. And then, he's coming to Bass Pro Tour next year, and he's a really good fisherman. And so it's really been, it's been a huge player. A lot of this Japanese stuff, because with sonar, like I was talking about earlier, man, you gotta be good at the finesse stuff. You really gotta be. And if there's new baits that the fish haven't seen, and they're tired of seeing these minnows and Nico type stuff, you got to find something new. And, so I'm spending way too much money probably, but I'm trying to get a little edge on this Japanese stuff. If I can get a few more bites, then it's worth it.
Yeah, no kidding. I remember seeing Michael Neal up on the St. Lawrence. I don't know, it was Invitational or Bass Pro Tour, but he's up there threading jig strands through his soft plastics to try to make his own kind of dice situation, and it worked.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, that works good. And then you can make whatever colors you want to, get the jig strands, so you can do custom stuff like that. So like that's a good way to get them too. I know Alex Davis does that a lot. Right.
Well, it's it's taken over the world, sort of, and certainly in certain applications, but it makes sense that it would be a deal for you guys over there too. But
right,
yeah. So it's really cool. Let me ask you. I want to offer some advice. You got a guy that's going out to his lake and give him one or two baits, one or two strategies to catch as many fish as he can. You're going to, what would you say to that guy? Here's what you need to bring. Here's what you need to go attack your lake. You're going to catch a lot of fish if you do this.
Well, first I'd ask him, does he use sonar? Does he like it? And if the answer is yes, I'm going to tell him you need a minnow, you need a Nico rig, and maybe some Japanese baits or something, and go out there, find the bait. You got to find a lot, a lot of action, birds, bait, different things, and figure that out. And then if the guy doesn't like forward sonar, I would tell him to put on a baby bass 5-inch wacky rig general, and I would tell him to, what else would he throw? Probably depending on the lake he's fishing, probably a topwater. Topwaters they're a lot of fun, and that's what got me into fishing was topwater. Walking the dog type stuff, spook stuff, twitching a fluke on the surface, exciting stuff where you get a lot of bites. But if you're not someone who likes sonar, man, put a wacky rig on and get a weedless hook, because you can fire that thing anywhere. I throw it in the stuff and twitch it out and let it sink, and it's amazing, a wacky rig on a weedless hook. I caught a lot of fish on it this year in Bass Pro Tour. Wacky rig's one of my staples for sure. So
no, it is one of the all-time greatest fish catchers of all time. And as a matter of fact, want to invite you guys to go check out Justin Lucas on Bass University, who we filmed doing his strategies with that exact technique. And we've taught it, and we're going to continue to teach and learn about it. But it's really an updated look into how he's using that to be so effective, with the general in today's fishing game. So yeah, go check that out, guys. That's over on Bass U, as well as a bunch of other stuff on the brand new Bass U apps. Keith, we're so excited. Everything's new. We're on Roku. We've updated everything across the board. So you are going to be being watched on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick now. So that's very
nice. Cool, man. Moving up in the world. You got technology's advancing for all of us, whether you're fishing or not.
Yep. That's a fact, man. But that's great advice, and really, really cool stuff. I have this circle because I wanted to ask you this, because I was just down at Lake Martin and Lake Jordan in Alabama, and I'm using forward facing sonar, and you talked to you. I'm asking you this because you brought up birds. My experience, and because like you, my region, forward facing, it's different up here than it is down on the reservoirs, and even different still than it is on the smallmouth fisheries. So we're like the Potomac, it's like we're not using it like a lot of guys are. So the big schools of shad, I don't get to fish around as much. The birds, the cormorants are something that I spent a lot of time getting away from because I couldn't catch fish around them. They bullied. I always felt like they bullied the bass, but I've never really looked at them with sonar. Tell me what you're seeing. Like if you see those big schools of cormorants or other birds out there, is this a place that you're going to target fish with forward facing, or is it like in my brain those birds are bullying the bass out of the area?
Oh, 100. You're right about that. So they do bully the bass out of the area. I think for sure. But the bass are nearby. So, if I'm seeing that where they're diving and stuff, you put the trolling motor on 100% as fast as you can, and you just start zooming all around those birds. You're going to find a wad of bait that has bass on it that the birds aren't affecting, and spooking the bass away and stuff. So
right.
all that means is that you're close to where the action is. You maybe don't want to fish right where the birds are. Now, sometimes they mix with the birds. If it's enough bait and stuff, they might be blowing up 50 or 100 feet away from where all the birds are diving, and that's fine. But a lot of times it's underwater and you really got to search for it. So that's a big player, but you're right about that. They do spook them and bully them around.
Yeah.
And the other birds too, you want to look
fast.
for birds on the bank. Birds standing on the bank is a good sign too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's funny because I haven't seen the cormorant schools and really looked at them with sonar. And I have that old, strategy that we, 20, 30 years ago, like, man, it's hard to catch bass around those birds, but it's interesting that's a fact.
Yeah.
What's your best technique for creating strikes with cormorants? Like,
Oh man, yeah, probably pinging a minnow. Yeah.
Don't do that, people. I'm just messing around.
Yeah.
Don't catch I know a lot of people would like to catch and cook the cormorants, or at least catch them and get them out of there for all the bait that they eat and food that they eat. But don't do that. Yeah. We're just messing around.
Yeah.
All right. What's up with this Jacob Wheeler character? Like,
oh man,
what's going on? I mean, he's dominating everything, and just fascinating to see how effective that dude has been. Man, is there strategies to like slow him down over there? Are you guys getting together to try to let some air out of his tires? What's going on over there with that guy?
Man, basically what it all comes down to is he's outworking all of us in the field.
You think?
I mean, that's really, yeah. Like I talked to him some, and he's fishing nonstop every day. He's pre-practicing for each tournament. He knows the lake better than all of us, and it's like, it's something I'm interested in trying is more pre-practice, which it's difficult because, we have a 30-day off limits, and, the lakes are states apart. So like you would have to drive to a lake that you would go to in 30 days, practice for as many days as you can, go straight from there back to another state, where, another tournament is, and fish and stuff. And so they make it really difficult to pre-practice. But if you're willing to put that time in, and then you can see the body of water 30 days before the tournament, look at Google Earth, look at, your contour lines for 30 days before that tournament, and you're going to have just seen it. Now, I know, of course, lakes change in 30 days, but still, I mean, that's a lot better than having never been there, or maybe hadn't been there in a year or two or something. And, so, I mean, he's light years ahead of us with, just how he practices, how he processes information, knowing he makes the right decisions, and Yeah, I mean, it's wild to see on the water. You know, he's very fast at fishing too. You know, he'll hit a spot, he'll leave, hit a couple, make a couple casts, catch a few, and then he's gone. You know, on to the next spot. You know, he's got so much knowledge of these lakes that we're fishing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-practice. That's interesting because you see that a lot of the top level guys don't pre-practice almost intentionally.
Yeah.
Because it can distract the thought process, but Wheeler's found a way to use it.
Yeah, so well, I mean, I don't pre-practice much, and I fish 2 tours and stuff too. I do Bass Pro Tour and Invitationals, but I fished the team series with Ron Nelson last week, and he pre-practiced for most every tournament, and he got top 10 on Bass Pro Tour. And he told me, you know, that there was the same guys that pre-practiced 30 days before every tournament, and most all of those guys were top 10 in points. You know, including Wheeler and some other guys, you know, that got top 10, and Ron Nelson too. And then, but also I heard that Brent Ayler never pre-practices, and he's a very good fisherman, you know, but he's also been around a long time. He knows a lot of these lakes that we're going to. You know, he's been tournament fishing for 20 plus years nationally and stuff. But yeah, so I mean, there's a couple ways to attack it, you know, and I think for 5 fish, it's best not to pre-practice. I can pull up and I can just flow with the lake with a couple days of practice. But I don't know, when you're looking for wads of fish, and you're looking for healthy areas of the lake and what does the lake look like, I think it does help to go ahead of time and to learn the lake. And then plus, again, we only have 2 days of practice, Bass Pro Tour. So it's like if you had gotten there 30 days prior, shoot, man. I mean, you get bad weather or something. I mean, that would help a lot, I would think. So I don't know. I'm just thinking of trying it more, you know, this year, seeing what happens.
You know what I like about pre-practicing is the downtime that you can think. Like you get on the water and you're looking at the water, and you know, something might occur to you during the off limits. It didn't occur to you when you were actually on the water. Like you're looking at Google Maps, you're looking at the topos, and you're like, you know what? I saw something on that contour line that, that pattern could develop for me.
Right.
And that kind of magic happens in the off limits period, you know, but it only happens like that if you pre-practiced, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like you're saying, you find that contour, you find a group of fish, and then you can go back and you can look, you know, at home, you know, and look and find stuff similar to that. Now, 30 days later, maybe they're not even there, but you know, you might have an idea of, okay, I found a group of fish here, and here's how the weather is going to progress in 30 days, and here's where I think they might be, you know, and at least you know there was a wad of fish in an area 30 days ago. Maybe you can figure out where they moved to, you know, just be ahead of the curve a little bit, other than just like hoping you land on something with 2 days of practice, you know. So yeah, I mean, that's a good point, you know, that you made there.
Yep. So it's pre-practice. Look into the weird lures, pick up your general, and go out and catch some fish. That's our takeaways from today.
That
Keith.
sums it up.
That's pretty good. And cormorants are bullies, so there you go.
They are. Yeah. They
so guys coming down to Florida right now, man. What's going on, man? Are they starting to spawn, or where should they go fish?
Yeah, I mean, they're actually already spawning. We had a major cold front a little while ago, and our nights were in the 30s, and it got that water cold enough to where on this warming trend, they're already out there spawning. It's not a massive wave. It isn't like the spring, but there's some on beds and you can bed fish them. And you know, it's starting early this year. So you can get out there, you can bed fish. They're up, you know, they're pre-spawn, they're up in the grass. You can flip mats, hyacinths and stuff. And you know, fishing's starting to get good now. It'll be really good until, you know, April or so.
That's awesome. Is Okeechobee? They had an Okeechobee open. I guess the catch was down, but they had a major cold front. Is the water up there, or is that coming? Do you know? Do you keep tabs on that?
Not really. I hadn't been there in a few years, but I hear that the new level is higher, like what they want to keep Okeechobee at. Or no, it's lower, I think. Yeah. And And so the lake is changing a lot, and you know, everything's going to look completely different, I'd imagine, next time I go back there. But yeah, I mean, once the grass grows and starts popping up, those populations will come right back. It's going to be really good again.
Yeah, that place is amazing. And Riz, we didn't get to talk about redfish on the show. I guess you guys got that done early in the pre-production.
We got that part done early, and I unfortunately might have lied to Keith before the show. I told him we would do about 30-ish minutes because he's actually working right now. But
yeah, that's okay.
So Keith, that's on me. You can give your boss my number and have him.
Yeah. No, man, that's fine. Don't even worry about it. He's up there climbing a ladder now. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you, buddy, and thank your boss on our behalf. And we learned a lot. And thanks for spending a little extra time with us. And hope you have a great holiday season, man. And good luck this year out on tour.
Hey, man, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Always love being on the show. And the boss is my brother, so don't even worry about it. You know, I'm not gonna get in any trouble with him. But man. But appreciate you guys, man, and looking forward to next year in Bass Pro Tour and see what happens.
Yep, I'm looking for some great things. I know we're going to see it. Thanks, Keith. We'll catch up with you real soon.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, good deal, man. That's some interesting stuff there, Riz. I didn't know we were on a 30-minute window, brother.
Well, I guess we weren't. But Keith asked me how long the segment would go, and I said 30-ish minutes because he mentioned that he was at work, and I forgot to communicate that over before the show. But it's all good. It's because his boss is his brother, so it's all good.
Hey, 30-ish, 60-ish minutes, whatever.
Yeah, 0.5. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, we got to get the goods at Bass University.
We got the goods, and there was quite a few blow your hair back moments in that interview.
Yep,
there was some stuff, and I tell you what, I guess I was passing unfair judgment on Keith, being that him and John are so tight that I would have assumed they had a lot of the same styles as far as their approaches to tournament fishing, but boy, was I wrong. Keith is dialed. He's got this thing down to what seems to be his own science, and it's working well for him. So it's cool.
Sure enough. Well, let's take a quick commercial break, and let's come back with some more Bass U.
Yeah, let's.
Soon as Riz gets things uploaded.
We're off the clock to clock more fish, to fill our live wells and empty our coolers, because there's more to explore. The latest Humminbird fish finders work fast, see clearly, and know all the best spots. They fish even smarter paired with the Minn Kota, and break down the water like never before. If you like your plans loose and lines tight, then it's time to explore. Only with Humminbird. Get right to the fight. New Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar puts you on more fish with an ultra-clear, rock-solid picture of underwater action. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
The original Element rods were really Carson's first launch, kind of at a price point level. With that, we got a lot of feedback.
And that's what brought about the Element Z2 and its launch. The most affordable American-made rod on the market.
When the sun's up and the bite's on, clarity is everything. That's why serious anglers trust Redfin. Built for the water, designed for performance. Lightweight frames, crystal clear optics, and rugged durability that stands up to long days on the water. Thanks to Zeiss Repel technology, water, oil, and even sunscreen just slides right off the lenses. Your vision stays crystal clear. See more, fish smarter, and protect your eyes with Redfin. Redfin polarized sunglasses. Comfort, clarity, contrast.
Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry and where the fish are worth the fight. Because the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Welcome back, Riz.
There you have it.
I was zoning out on the Zeiss Repel technology. Even thump gel slides off that stuff. Shout out to those boys at Redfin and ladies, as well as Cash and Fishing Rods. All great holiday gift ideas, guys. Go check that out. If you're a Bash University member, which I know you guys are, get over there to the Pro Member Benefits, which you can check out on the new app. Click through and take advantage of all your amazing deals over there at Bash U. Very good, Riz. We got our classes coming up. We're going to be in Athens, Texas. We're going to be in Anderson, South Carolina coming up in January. People are buying tickets. Get yours while you can and get out there and see us. We're going to be announcing all the details of the Bash University classes real soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. They're always great. Amazing speakers, interacting and engaging with not only speakers, but anglers, like-minded anglers like yourself. Great hanging out, learning about fishing, and sometimes making a new fishing partner, Riz. A lot of these guys do that.
Yep, love to see it.
Yep, they hook up for life. Do you happen to have a subscriber of the week this week? Is Justin with us?
I think Justin's hanging with us.
All right.
I'm going to throw him in. I don't know if he wants me to throw him in or not, but there he is. I'm throwing him in.
JH.
Muted JH.
You muted JH.
We don't have a sub of the week this week. We're giving shout out to all the new people signing up for Bash U on the new platforms. That's what we got.
All right. And shout out to all the ambassadors. Appreciate those guys being part of the program. Going on through the holidays, going on right now, guys. We got an amazing what's it called? The hoodie.
Hoodie. Avco Reaper.
I want to say Rafter. I couldn't get that word out. The Reaper.
Mike Rafter is our Vimeo OTT guy, but
that's how that got stuck in my brain, didn't it?
Yep. Shout out Mike Rafter.
All right. Well, good deal. And shout out Mike, shout out Jeff Olson, and shout out to Gerald Swindle, who was just released with his Power Finesse program at Bash University TV. Riz, what else we got on the lineup for Bash University coming?
Oh, we got a lot coming down the pipe right now. We have Cole Sands following seasonal movements. We have a Seth Fighter seminar about the Z-Man micro tube. And we also got a Kyle Patrick on the water seminar coming down with the Mighty Minnow. So stay tuned. A lot of good coming down the pipe.
We were so psyched. Jake picked out there was a bunch of jerseys to win at the Logan Parks Insane tournament. And Jake, the three that he tried for were Trey McKinney, Logan Parks, and Kyle Patrick. Those are the jerseys that he wanted. And he got the Kyle Patrick jersey, man. That was so cool. So hope you're doing good, Kyle. You may be getting a jersey in the mail for you to sign coming soon. Hopefully maybe we can get some ink on that from you. But that's very cool. Jake's psyched to get that jersey. But Justin, you've been
lock them up.
Just
lock them up. Right I'll finish it for you, Justin. You've been busy with a lot of the new Vimeo OTT features. what are what do you think the people are liking the most right now as far as all the new stuff are?
I mean, downloads for sure got to be up there. I was definitely highly requested by a lot of our subs. So we got downloads now. You can, whether you're on the plane, you want to rip a G-Man seminar, or going through the backwoods of Red Point where you lose connection, you got, you can still listen as long as you download it. That's a big one. And just the overall experience is definitely better. So
accessibility is way better. Accessibility is definitely better, and it's a lot more easier. It's a lot easier now, it seems, to navigate through the learning experience. Like your starting point will stay closely aligned to your ending point as far as what you want to learn about. So that's really
and there's
cool.
There's also a lot of familiarity with the app, if that's the right word, along with Netflix, and it's pretty similar to a lot of the other streaming apps. So everybody has they're familiar with how that operates. So just like that, but with bass fishing. So
yeah, cool stuff. I don't think we're gonna get Pete back in time, so I think we'll just close it out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Bass University Live.